Hello, and welcome back to the Holistic Hustle. My name is Stella, and today we're talking about the topic that makes most spiritual entrepreneurs squirm: money. But here's the thing, your bank account is just as spiritual as your meditation practice. And in 2025, the inflation is eating into our savings and economy. Certainty is everywhere. We can't afford to keep money and spirituality in separate boxes anymore. So today I'm sharing with you the exact framework that changed my relationship with money, including a personal breakthrough that saved me over the £80 a month and completely rewired my nervous system and how it responds to wealth. So let's dive in. And before I go any further, I have to applaud my coach, Leah, and also Jessica, the two individuals that have really helped me when it comes to the money finance side of things. Leah, because she's actually my life coach and she's just amazing. And she's been doing so much work with me around money, around my nervous system, around my inner child, around healing, around trauma. So the whole spectrum of it is huge to what we've really gone into depth with, even the side of tapping into my higher self and working with spirit as well. So I've got to first, before I even continue, is give her flowers. And yes, if you are interested to know more of what Leah does do, I would love you to DM me, comment on this episode, and I will give you her details. And by all means, you can set up a consultation and go from there. But anyway, I'm just here giving Leah her flowers because she deserves it. Everyone needs to have her in their lives. And you've also got to be willing to do the work. Let's dive in. The spiritual money paradox. Let's address the elephant in the room. If you're conscious, and if you're a conscious entrepreneur and you've probably felt it, the uncomfortable tension between wanting financial abundance and feeling like caring about the money makes you less spiritual. Maybe you've caught yourself thinking good money and good people don't care about money. Or shall I say good people don't care about money? Or if I'm truly aligned, money will just flow. Meanwhile, you're checking your bank balance and one eye closed, hoping that the universe deposits something while you're manifesting. The reason why I'm laughing, because we've all been there. And it's funny, right? Because I was looking at my notes when I was getting ready and planning for this podcast. And, as a entrepreneur, we all go through this whole thing of like scarcity. Where's the money going to come in? Where's it going to come from? How we're going to do it? And with me being an entrepreneur now for since 2017, I've 2017, 2016, 2017. I've just, no matter what adventure I've gone into, I've come to terms with the fact that you have to be okay with, dealing with those emotions, but also understanding that we've been conditioned for so long to have that monthly salary in our account as like security, like a business or a company is going to pay us when, well, a matter of fact, obviously your clients pay you, right? And what you put in, you do get out. But I do feel that the universe has a lot to do with how we make our money and how we could develop more abundance along the way. And that's why I was so excited to do this podcast, because growing up, I wasn't really, being told how to manage money. I wasn't really known how much it would affect me growing up in terms of the debt that I created, in terms of the woman I've now become when it comes to being I'd say frivolous, but just watching what I'm spending money on. Like, I won't just go into a shop now and go, yeah, I'll have that. Because when I was younger, I couldn't get that. Now it's like I've made peace with my past and my upbringing. And now when I go into a shop, I'm like, but I really need it. Does I really need it? And if she really needs it, what should be using it for? Whether it's clothes, whether it's makeup, whether it's perfume. And I've changed a lot, and I won't just buy for the sake of buying now. I will buy if I really need, if I'm coming up, I need an outfit for an event, I would buy something then. So I have come to a point where I'm actually looking after money a lot more. I'm taking care of money. And do you know what? I'm treating money like my best friend. And it's so crazy to think like, before me making this podcast and the journey that I've been on, that I was just so scared of money. I wouldn't open my letters at home. I wouldn't want to look at my bank account. I was worried. And there was a point in time where I was like, I had money, I have money. But there was a time where I was like, I've got it, but it keeps going. I've got it and it keeps going. I've got it and it keeps going. And it's all about learning how to manage money, right? And also tracking money and tracking what you're spending money on and having fun with money. And that's what Jessica taught me. Jessica taught me have fun with money. And again, I'll leave her details on the podcast as well. At the bottom. So if you do want to know more about how to make your money grow, how to make use of money you've got and have fun with money, she's talking about having fun with money and how much we can save. So for example, if I wanted to sell something on eBay, that's money that I'm getting back into my account, right? So it's like banked money. And it's so fun because you will then go around the house going, okay, what else can I put on eBay? And make it like a challenge and make it fun. Same with my subscriptions. At first I was like, oh, I don't want to cancel all that, so I don't want to be without it. But actually, when I deeped in, I was like digging into what subscriptions do I have. I couldn't believe how, in terms of subscriptions, like rid of me. Like I had so much going out. I was like, why have I got all of this? And there was a time where I literally said, I think over £85. And from then I've saved even more. And now I add up when things are done for me. Like I was going to like pay for something, but maybe a friend or someone said, oh, I'll get that. That's also money coming back to you. So money is a funny one because it's not only do you get it from the clients, but actually you get money in all different shapes and forms and ways of meaning and given to you that we don't really think about. And that's like fun to tally all of that. Yeah. So there you go. I'm on a bit of a side quest there in terms of money and what's been happening to me lately. But money is neutral and it's not good or evil. It's energy and it's a tool. And right now, it's a tool that amplifies whatever's already inside you. So if you're good-hearted, money makes you more generous. And if you're creative, money gives you more resources to create. But here's what's really happening. We're living through the biggest wealth transfer in history. The question isn't whether you'll participate, it's whether you'll be ready. And the inflation that we're experiencing isn't just about groceries costing more. It's about a massive wake up call and that the old rules don't apply. Having one income stream is risky. Keeping all your money in savings is actually losing money, and ignoring your finances while focusing on only on mindset work. And that's spiritual bypassing, right? So your spiritual practice doesn't pay your rent. Your affirmations don't fund your retirement. Your meditation doesn't build generational wealth. But you know what does? Marrying your spiritual wisdom with practical financial action. And this is what happened with me in terms of my wake up call and being honest with myself about money. I think that was the whole tipping point for me because I've never really had a problem getting money. But it's either keeping it and making use of it is the issues that I've had where I'd go from extremes. I've got to have all these mentorships to then extremes of I've got to get whatever I want in terms of clothes or holidays. And it got to a point where, yes, I could do anything I want with money. But then it was like, actually, it would be nice to have it and let it stay for a while. So it was like that committing myself to money that was very like a light bulb moment. So for years, I was stuck in a cycle. And it's funny because I do feel that the cycle was very much at a condition point, and how I was rewired in certain ways through my experiences and my upbringing. When money was there, then money was gone. So it was time that I actually was like, right, let me actually just pay the things that need to be paid and let me focus on that. So I gave up all my mentorships, let them all die out and be finished with them. And where it was like that investing in myself moment, I've done a lot of that and that was enough for me to do. So it got to a point where I was like, now it's time to cut all that, like pay what I need to pay and just now track my money, like what's coming in, what's coming out, what am I spending it on, and what's going on with it. And it's so crazy. Like even to the point like coffee, I was like, wow, tallied up. I was spending like, I think over £1,000 on coffee. Lime bike, I tallied up. I was spending over 2,500 on lime bikes, on forest bikes. My EAAs and waters, that was like 450 every time I was buying it from the gym. So that then added up. So I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Let me cut this all out. And while I've been doing that, it's been a wake up call to go, wow, like all this extra money that I have, I can now spend it on, saving it or just having it there for things that I need it for rather than just frivolously spending because I could. And you don't want to end up treating money like how you would disrespect someone or something. You want to try and treat money like it's your relationship. Like, would you treat your partner or your best friend that way? How you're so frivolous with money where it comes and it goes. And then you start resenting money and you start hating money and you start being scared of money and you start becoming fearful of money. Like, it's funny how all of that boils down to not having a good relationship with money. So for me, it was, wow, I need to cut back on certain things, which I've done, and really think about what is going on and what am I doing with my money. My relationship money has changed massively. I've felt it. And yes, now I've actually called money a name, and my money best friend is called Alice. And Alice was born while I was on the step pad actually, and I was listening to Florence Shiven. I hope I've quoted her. So if you wanted to hit up any of her YouTubes, you can. And she was just literally give me the moments of light bulb moments of like, have a relationship with money and give the money a name and just be close, be warm and be loving when it comes to money. And wow, I feel like for the first time I was treating money like my best friend instead of a passing stranger. And when Money Alice comes to visit, I don't immediately send her away to someone else. I let her stay. I get to know her, I get to appreciate her, and I made a decision. No clothes for 6 months or more, not because I can't afford them, because I can, but because I wanted to prove to myself that I could hold money and that I could have it without spending it. And every time I felt the urge to buy something, I'll write it down instead. And that's the same part of me going, actually, do I need this? Like, do I really need this? Because I don't. And that's when I started being relaxed about money. That's when I started opening my letters and started going, okay, every bill I can pay for, I can work things out. And the universe does wonderful things because then I got all my angel numbers coming through and I'm aligned, I'm on the right path. I'm starting to feel safe when it comes to money. And started to feel less stressed because when I get stressed, you can either do a few things, take it out on other people or self-sabotage yourself and then you become anxious and frustrated. And now I'm just not that. And it's quite nice to know that. So, just the practical shifts makes a massive difference. What I want you guys to do is to build your sacred money part of, what do you want to call, what's the name of your money? What type of relationship do you want to have? What type of tracking do you want to track? Do you want to track everything you have in your business? Do you want to track, even if you don't have a business, do you want to track your personal expenditure and what's coming in? And would you want to sit down once a week and have a look at your finances? Like, you've got to do something that works for you. Because I've got my business tracker, I've got my daily tracker and a weekly tracker. And I think the more you do that, the more easy it becomes to know what's going on with your money and where money is coming from. So I just think you have to remember as well, a lot of this is signals to your nervous system that, when you are tracking, when you are having that great relationship with money, it's soothing your nervous system and it's not making it so frantic where you come into the fight flight mode and you get scared and you get fearful. And then you start making stories in your head like, I won't have my place anymore, or I can't live, or this can happen to me. Because actually 9 times out of 10, it's all just, I always call it monkey fuck thoughts, but just the thoughts that come around that don't actually exist. Do I feel that you can reverse your thoughts? Yes, you can. Do I feel that you can really crack them and just look ahead in terms of where you're going? Yes, because we do live in a linear place in a sense of like parallel lives and that we can just go far forward. There's not really much of a past, present, future if you want to look at in terms of your mistakes in the past, everything else, but actually everything is parallel. So you can, rewire, you can create new to help with your mindset, help with your money talk, and also help your nervous system to just come from the place of peace. So, don't feel no way that if you're doing this work and your nervous system does come nice and high, don't feel no way to, and it screams out, oh my God, this is a lot. Don't feel no way to take 3 deep breaths in, set the intention, and know that you are safe. You see the truth, and you're actually empowering to create change. And when you start looking that way and look at the numbers and open the post and open your bank account and your credit cards and your debt with no judgment, just witnessing, you're actually gathering data, not making it mean anything about your worth. And you're not then attaching it to emotion and energy. It's funny because I've done all this work, so it's quite simple for me to come up on this podcast and talk about it. But when you're going through it, it's actually really hard. So I do want you to be proud of yourself that you're going through this change and you want to make a difference. And that's why I think tracking and exploring what type of tracking you want, daily, weekly, or monthly, will work for you. Or whether it is just looking at what you're spending your money on and cancel Amazon, cancel subscription, take the apps off your phone, because we live in this world where we have access to everything, and you don't need to have access to everything. We can, bring that all the way back and take a step back from all of that and bring your consciousness to your money or flow. And also, celebrate when you have made your nervous system feel at ease. And that could be a relaxful night, pampering night, Epsom salt bath, a nice cuppa. Like, it doesn't have to be like you're going out to get something. It can, like, you can turn your celebrations into just what you've got at home. Be, doing your nails, pampering your feet, having a nice bath, and just rewiring your brain and getting yourself on those neural paths. So you're making sure that you're implementing your steps that you said you were going to do and setting your attentions to ensure that you're tracking money, you're making money work for you, and you're bringing more flow and abundance in. And therefore, what happens? You raise your vibration, your frequency, and more money comes in. It's the law, right? So take that aligned action, get started. And if it means that you start as little as cancel subscriptions, which is a big thing, by the way, do so. But the size of what you start with doesn't matter. It's the consistency that does. So ensure that you are consistent. Ensure that you give your money a name if that resonates, and make it personal. And when Money Alice arrives, thank her when she leaves to pay a bill, and appreciate how she's serving you and how also the relationship is. Because you know what? When you are less scared, more money will come and Alice will arrive. And that's a beautiful thing to have, and know that, your money will support you. It will take you on that holiday. It will take you on adventures, and you will have a good life doing it. We are all here and we all are wealthy. It's just tapping into that and ensuring that we are on that high flying disc to creating more abundance within our life. Okay. I'm so grateful for each and every one of my listeners. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And just know that your money will rise, you will get abundance. Start doing the work. Thank yourself for showing up. Create new neuro pathways around wealth, and just know that there's no looking back. So if you feel that you want to, again, freeze subscriptions, cancel that direct debit, go through all the bills that you're paying for and get rid of them, then do so. And don't feel no way of doing so as well. Okay? Get your spending back on track. We are here to empower one another. And that is it. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you need anything from me, let me know. What I am going to do is I'm going to attach a guide on the back of this episode, so you guys can utilize it, see what you want from it, pick what you want, pick what you don't want, and make the most of it, because the guide's going to be where the magic happens. And don't forget to be grateful for all the money we've got, and also to be alive. On that note, thank you very much for listening. I'm your host, Stella. You lot have been amazing, and I'll be back again next week. And if you feel that there's other people that needs to hear this episode, send it across. And remember, Money Alice, or whatever you call yours, wants to be your friend. She wants to stay with you. Let her stay abundant, stay conscious, and I'll see you next week. Peace.